Good morning. I'm on live and it didn't give me any big hoo-ha to tell me I was here. So good morning, I'm Marla Copal and I get with you around 8:30 every day from a Mountain Standard Time. And today I had something interesting that came up and I was trying to think of a new way to talk to you about it. So people always talk about how they don't want to be rejected. And this is why they don't get active in sales or they don't sell as much as they think they can, or because it's harder for them to get out the door to make the sales. It's harder for them to go out and connect with people. It's harder for them to feel comfortable. And then I thought about it. I understand there's a lot of psychology behind the fear of rejection. I get it. And I've had it. I'm not saying that I haven't had it. I'm not saying that I can't get into that space sometimes in certain moments. But what I want to share is that there are silly ways to think about getting rejected so that you can get yourself over yourself and get out the door to make those sales. So I'm Marla Copal. You can always find me at successwithmarla.com. You can set an appointment with me, or I have a fun class coming up here on Saturday, February 5th that I'd love to have you in. So as I was sitting here this morning thinking about how I was going to phrase this differently, because you know how it is. People say, oh, you shouldn't be this. You shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't do this. Well, that just doesn't work, does it? Because you got something in here. You got something interfering in your head that says, oh, and that gets in the forefront of your mind. And then you don't go talk to the next person that you need to make a sale with, or it's harder to get on the phone with someone. So I'm going to make this silly, because I want you to get it, all right? You reject things all the time. So let's look at you first. All those, hey, Delroy, let's look at all those things that you reject. So let's say you're walking down a grocery aisle and you reject this jar of salsa. Ha! You rejected jar of salsa. That's all you did. You said no. You went no to that item. You went no to that item. You went no to that item. So here's the thing that's funny about rejection. All of these items, inanimate objects, they don't have the sensitivities we do as human beings. But I want you to realize how many times a day you're saying no. So if no is in your cycle, then the universe gives you no back. And it's just one of those tests that it gives us. It's like, well, let's see what you're going to do with this. I'm going to give you a no. I'm going to give you a red light. That's a no. I'm going to give you a stop sign. That's a no. Like, don't go forward until I give you permission. So our life is filled with no's. So I encourage you today to just look around. Where do you get all these no's, and how do you get through all of those no's? So my simple message is that when you are in a selling process with someone, you have something you want them to buy, you probably don't start at the right conversation point with them. So first of all, yes, we know about warming up a conversation. We know about getting into rapport, but we really sometimes don't say, do you need anything that I have? Because that feels too risky, right? You just keep going and giving people your information. Well, first of all, figure out if you even have the right audience, because the first point of rejection is you're talking to the wrong people. You should not feel bad about that, except that you need to get a little more savvy and figure out who it is you're going to talk to. So let's say you do have the right audience. You still have to find out what it is that's really concerning them. So I'm going to give you an example I had the other day with someone in one of my classes. She sells oils, and I work with people all over the spectrum, but I work with a lot of health-oriented people, and they all have different products. But in this particular case, we were working out how do you handle it at the end when the person looks really interested, but there's still just one more level of hesitation. And she asks, she says, so it seems like there's still one more piece that we haven't resolved for you. What is that? And she says, well, my husband hates smells, weird smells. And I went, oh, so I went, oh, and then I said, so what did you say to that? She says, I didn't do anything. I just let her go home and talk to her husband. So then we role play through that situation. And I said, well, you could have gone a little further. You could have asked her, does the husband not like cleaning smells like Clorox and Pine Sol? Does he like cinnamon in baking? What are the smells he likes and what are the smells he doesn't like? Now, if you find out what smells he doesn't like, but what smells he does like, then you would only talk to her about the oils that might relate to this. What if this guy ate peppermint candies every day? Do you think you could sell a peppermint oil? See, people take this big fat paintbrush with no, and they think it means everything. The adventure of sales is to go back in and qualify what the no is all about. So in this particular case, it wasn't a full-blown no. She had a partial yes going from one person. However, this person was consistently thinking of the husband. So she had to figure out what the hesitation was. So you just ask, what's the hesitation? So when even somebody says to you, hey, I got to go home and talk to my husband, you need to say, what information do you think your husband would feel is important for you to make this decision? And now she can repeat back a few things about what she wants to discuss with him. Cool. She's ready. She's prepared to have that conversation and probably come back as a buyer. If you hear, I need to talk to my husband as a no, it will become a no because you are not setting yourself up for a future follow-through. So what you want to do in that particular case, let's say she said, well, I think I know everything, but he just really hates smells. So I need to go talk to him about the things that I want to have. And I just want to go talk to him. Great. Then you go for the next thing. There's still no rejection. She's going to talk to the husband. If any of you are saying, oh, talking to the husband, it's not a done deal. Well, no, it's not a done deal, but it's not a not done deal. Get it? So what you do now is you go and you say, so great. When do you think you'll have a chance to talk to your husband? When can I call you back in 2 days? And let's have a conversation about this again. And if that person is really interested, she'll say yes to that. You've got another appointment and the sale is not lost. You have not been rejected. And this is what we call follow through. Some people call follow through getting people on the phone and nagging and getting them, all riled up. No, this is just a simple conversation. If you're in business to give service to people and you don't want them to treat you like the jar of salsa on the grocery store that they just walk by and say no to, then you got to have some strategies for accepting those no's, but turning them around. You can make a lot of no's a yes. So instead of being fearful of rejection, you want to talk to me about some strategies. So I have a webinar coming up on February 5th, and I'm going to actually walk you through how to have no objection sales. Meaning, if you really get it right in the beginning, you're not going to get resistance or rejection. You're just going to get a couple of concerns that are easy to resolve. I've been using this for over 35 years. I highly encourage you to join us at successwithmarla.com. It is the first yellow button that you get. And if that's too soon for you, you need to have a conversation with me. There's a green button there to set a conversation with me. So look, rejection is a state of mind. If you go in not expecting to be rejected, it's not going to happen. You got to be able to have a little bit of a thick skin if you're in sales or marketing, but you can do it. I know you can, and I'll talk to you later.